It's that time of year again. The trees are showing off their best fiery colors. The corn is drying in the fields, and the breeze feels decidedly crisp. It's autumn, and the work in the garden is slowing down. Although it hasn't stopped, not completely. There are decisions to be made. The potted annuals sitting on my patio won't like the cold. They won't like it at all, so do I bring them into the limited space in my grow room, or do I make them a sacrifice to the frost? There is another way. I know I can save space and keep my favorite annuals from freezing oblivion. Sometimes answers come in unusual packages. This one came in the form of a gift from a generous gardener friend. This friend, over the last few decades, has turned his empty backyard into a stunning garden. An afternoon visit promises a cup of coffee and a walk back to my car, hands full of plants he couldn't shoehorn into his own garden. This time was no different. He gave me some of his salvia black and blue. I tried to buy some of this in the spring, but the nursery only had a red one. I bought it, but I really wanted the black and blue, so I'm glad I got it. Look at this. It's the leathery, spiky, gorgeous burgundy bloom of the Stapelia gigantea, or carrion flower plant. The bloom smells, as the common name suggests, like something dead. This is to attract flies that will pollinate it. I'll be putting this one outside when the flowers open. The final part of this package is 3 nerine bulbs. These are also known as Guernsey lilies, but they're not true lilies. When they bloom later in the summer, they'll look something like this. In my climate, a growing zone of 5B, these bulbs can be left in the ground over winter. Now the unboxing is done, what do we do with all these plants? Well, first, Tilly, the anxious and very strong dog we're dog-sitting, looked lonely, so I thought I'd let her into my small potting shed that at this moment is crammed with sharp objects and expensive camera gear. What could go wrong? No! All right, Tilly, we'll play for a bit. Right, back to it. I love the size of these cell trays. They're slightly bigger than most, just a bit more room for roots to grow. I fill them with the last of the potting soil I have, which isn't enough for the full 6 cells, but that's okay. Sorry, dog. But I did let the soil dry out in the bag too much, so it's going to need a bit of a soak before anything gets stuck in it. Now to make these rough salvia clippings into little efficient bits of plant that will want to root and make me more plants. I'll do a few of them, 6 in all, to make up for the margin of error that comes with me being a bad gardener. If I get a few of them growing, then I'll have plants for next spring. I've heard that softer branches that have no flowers are the best material to make cuttings. Unfortunately, I don't really have that option. These clippings were taken late in the year and the stems are pretty woody. Flowers on them too. Oh well, I'll cut them off and hope for the best. You want to make a cutting just below a leaf node, so where the leaves attach to the stem, cut just below that. Don't leave too many leaves on the cutting, just a couple, right near the top. There we go, off to the grow room. This is a few days later. I made similar cuttings to the red salvia I had, and most are shedding old leaves and popping out new ones. New leaves means you've got roots, and the clipping is well on its way to being a brand new plant. From one plant comes many, or at least I hope so. I'm not sure where to plant these nerine bulbs, so I'm going to bring them inside and store them away for the winter. I've got a bunch of wood shavings left over from using a lathe to give them a nice cushy bed in this terracotta pot I'm not using. I'll have easy access to the bulbs so I can check on them over the winter to make sure they're not drying out. Now on to the carrion flower plant cutting. I left the cuttings out for a few days in order for the cutting wound to callus over. This apparently will keep the plant from rotting when you plant it. I've got some well-draining sandy soil to plant these two in. I pop them in, callus side down obviously, and I'll give it a drink. I'm adding pea gravel to the top as a mulch, but also because I think it looks good with succulents. Now this guy will spend the winter next to a large window with my other succulents to keep it company. Hopefully it'll take root. So that's it. The moral of the story is gardeners are good, generous people who like to share the wealth. And if you want to keep your annuals but don't have the space, take a cutting. See you next time, and happy gardening.